Welcome home to philosophy, where we wonder about everything and anything is possible. Hi, I'm Dr. Robert Corey, the Laughing Philosopher. Life is complicated. The world is complicated, and you are complicated. Figuring out how to live a happy, meaningful life, guided by wisdom and reason, is not easy. Is life a game? What is love? Should I fear death? Is this a just world? Almost from the moment of birth, you've been told how to behave, how to fit in, and how to fulfill other people's expectations. You fear that you will lack importance or cease to exist in the lives of others if you think for yourself and question the rules and roles you've been told define you. Wisdom and reason will remove this illusion so you can live authentically in the world around you, find your true purpose, and become your real self. Welcome to episode number 117. 14 philosophers, 14 life hacks. Timeless wisdom that actually works. Today's episode is essentially a collection of philosophical life hacks. The hidden rules no one bothered to tell you for a life well lived. Wisdom that has stood the test of time from history's greatest minds. More than timeless wisdom, a philosophical life hack is a mental strategy like reframing negative feelings or staying calm under pressure. These life hacks are unwritten and unconventional, but creative and clever solutions to modern problems that make life simpler to understand, easier to endure, and more enjoyable. Let history's smartest minds show the way with wisdom that actually works. Written rules of all kinds are necessary to establish, maintain, and protect society. Almost from the moment of birth, the space between our ears is populated with rules of all kinds. Written codes of conduct that regulate our actions and dictate behavior, but are of limited value in struggling through the common problems and challenges of modern life. The social world is complicated. A happy and virtuous life guided by wisdom and good sense is not easy. As we duck and dodge our way through the world, common sense isn't that common, and good sense isn't that good. A virtuous and happy life is hard to achieve, but these 14 great philosophers and 14 unwritten rules might just help you succeed. Because everyone reads the written ones. Who reads the rules anyway? For a profound understanding of how life really works, we must look to the unwritten rules of life from the deepest thinking philosophers. Socrates and Aristotle knew life hacks before they were cool. What everyone should know about how the world works is not written down in sacred books and official documents, but revealed in the deepest insights of the great philosophers. Here are their 14 unwritten and unofficial laws of life everyone should know. Let philosophy's smartest minds guide you. Number 1. Socrates' Law. The life which is unexamined is not worth living. The most important part of you is between your ears. Your life is what your thoughts make of it. Your thoughts can make a heaven of hell or a hell of heaven. From the moment of birth, you've been told what to think, what to feel, and how to act. You've been told you will cease to exist in the lives of others if you think for yourself and fail to conform to the rules that define you. Socrates said, "Fear not. Think for yourself. Examine your life. List everything you did yesterday. Count how many things you did out of rule following and how many things you did out of desire. Did you let yourself be carried away by other people's demands and expectations of you? Did you hide yourself behind society's traditional roles and rules? Are you doing what you value and desire? Or are you a slave to other people's definition of you? Thinking for yourself is an authentic life. Rule following is an imitation of life. In a world that coerces and compels conformity, you should be faithful to yourself all the way," said Socrates. Number 2. Erasmus' Law. The grass is always greener on the other side of the fence. The effect of distance on our perceptions and judgments is not limited to grass. The farther away from you a tragedy or disaster occurs, the less sympathy and compassion you have for its victims. It's easier to be brave from a safe distance, easier to be moral when you're farther from the crisis, easier to be optimistic about the future the farther away it is, easier to be forgiving of other people's wrongdoing when you're not the victim suffering unjustly. The fairest fruit hangs highest on the tree. Distance plays a crucial role in how we judge good and bad, right and wrong, pleasant and unpleasant, said Erasmus. Number 3, Aristotle's Law. The whole is greater than the sum of the parts. In a symphony orchestra, each musician plays a separate instrument, but when they perform together, the result is an experience that transcends any single instrument's contribution. The symphony's music emerges from the interaction of all musicians, not just their individual efforts. The human brain consists of billions of neurons, each one firing electrical impulses. Together, they give rise to consciousness and self-awareness. When the neurons interact, something much greater and more complex emerges. Aristotle said that one should not infer conclusions about the whole from its parts. If you stand up on your seat at a football game, then you will be able to see better. It does not then follow that if everyone stands up, everyone will be able to see better. If every brick in a wall weighs 5 pounds, It does not then follow that the wall weighs 5 pounds. If every sheep in a flock has a mother, it does not then follow that the flock has a mother. If everything in the universe has a cause, it does not then follow that the universe itself has a cause. The whole is more than its individual parts. One also shouldn't infer conclusions about the individual parts from the whole. If the IQ of women as a group is greater than of men, it does not then follow that my wife is smarter than I am. If my favorite baseball team is unbeatable, it does not then follow that each player is unbeatable on their own. Putting individual parts together will form a new level of complexity due to how the parts interact. Life is more than food, said Jesus, and the body is more than clothing. When individual parts interact in a meaningful, purposeful way, something greater and more complex emerges. A single bee can't accomplish much on its own, but a beehive's collective behavior is far more complex and advanced than the instincts of any single bee. The whole is more than its parts, said Aristotle. Number 4, Karl Marx's law. The road to hell is paved with good intentions. What you believe doesn't make you good. It's what you do. A tree is known by its fruit, said Jesus. Good trees produce good fruit. Bad trees produce bad fruit. Good trees don't produce bad fruit, nor bad trees good fruit. Always with the best intentions, Christians ignore Jesus and do the opposite. The hottest places in hell are reserved for those who commit heinous acts with good intentions. Intentions are just claims. Intentions are not facts, evidence, or proof. You may believe that good intentions are enough to make you a good person. Believing it doesn't make it true. Practical actions are the only real proof of one's good character. We are what we repeatedly do, said Aristotle. Pay no attention to what a person intends, said Marx. Pay close attention to what he does. Number 5, Seneca's law. It is quality rather than quantity that matters. A few deep, meaningful, and lasting friendships are better than hundreds of shallow acquaintances. One loyal friend who really gets you is worth more than a crowd of people who barely know you. An employee who successfully completes one well-thought-out, high-impact project contributes more value to the company than someone who rushes through 10 mediocre tasks. Busyness is not productivity. Eating a small portion of nutrient-dense food is far healthier and more enjoyable than eating a large amount of processed junk food. It's not the age of an automobile that matters. It's the mileage. What we focus on matters more than how much we accumulate, said Seneca. Number 6, Heraclitus' law. You can't step twice into the same river, for other waters are ever flowing onto you. Everything changes. Nothing stands still. Change is another word for life. Everyone you love is destined to walk with you, but only for a season. Nothing is constant but change. You can't step twice into the same river because the river is not the same and you are not the same. You can't go home again because you've changed and your home has changed. You can't fall in love with the same person again for the first time because you're not the same person and the other person is not the same person. Tomorrow has been promised to no one. Nothing is lasting. Everything is fleeting. Nothing is permanent. Only change is real, said Heraclitus. Everything else is opinion. Number 7, Wittgenstein's law. Of that which nothing is known, nothing can be said. Don't construct theories in the absence of evidence. Absence of evidence is not evidence of absence. Just because you don't see any evidence your husband is cheating on you doesn't mean he isn't. Just because no one has found a piece of a UFO doesn't mean there is no such thing. Without verifiable evidence, one way or the other, suspend your doubts and certainties and say nothing. Belief is not evidence. Belief is just a claim. If you have nothing of value and importance to say, don't speak and prove it. Silence cannot be repeated. Silence cannot be misunderstood. Silence is the best response to ignorance. What we cannot speak of, we must pass over in silence, said Wittgenstein. In plain language, know when to speak and when to be silent. Number 8, Xenophanes' law. It takes a wise man to recognize a wise man. Unlike wisdom, stupidity has no boundaries. You can be good at something, but you can't be good at everything. Stupidity has no limits. You can be ignorant about everything. To stupid people, the wise are incomprehensible. The wise are impossible to understand because wisdom thinks what stupidity cannot think, and wisdom sees what stupidity cannot see. If you are told by stupid people that you are stupid, then you must be wise because stupid people cannot understand you. And if you are told by stupid people that you are wise, you must be stupid because they can. Wisdom recognizes wisdom, said Xenophanes. Number 9, Herbert Spencer's law. Every cause produces more than one effect. You can never do merely one thing. In human activities of all kinds, to every action there is opposed many equal reactions. All of the effects of any one cause are never and can never be foreseen. Every action has many unexpected consequences and many unanticipated effects. As one cause produces many effects, each effect is a cause of additional effects, and each additional effect causes other effects, both immediately and rippling through the future. You cannot do one thing by itself without finding it connected to everything else in the universe. Spencer said that while we live life by looking forward, we only understand by looking backward the unintended consequences of our actions. The best laid plans of mice and men may bring grief and pain from promised joy, said poet Robert Burns. You may intend to be part of the solution and end up being part of the problem. Efforts to escape a problem may lead you deeper into it. Efforts to improve things may make them worse, much worse. All human activities are unpredictable in their consequences. Spencer, one of the founders of sociology, also provided Charles Darwin with the phrase, survival of the fittest. What did Spencer mean? Life is no soft affair. It's a long, hard road. Things will be thrown at you and things will hit you. You will struggle, grow tired, and fall. This world is not for everyone. It's not the strong who survive. It's the durable, said Spencer. Today, and it is always today, imagine the worst that could happen and prepare yourself. If it doesn't, you're lucky. If it does, you're ready. Number 10. Ludwig Feuerbach's Law. You are what you eat. We are social beings. Our biography is social. 2 of us are required just to create a new one. Almost from the moment of birth, we begin to internalize society's norms, values, customs, attitudes, and ideas. The structures of society become the structures of our consciousness. Some people become conformists, and some people become nonconformists. The only difference between them is that nonconformists have internalized an excess of norms favorable to nonconformity to the structures of society, while conformists have internalized an excess of norms favorable to conformity. The only difference between them are the norms they have eaten and internalized. Nonconformists and conformists have exactly the same worldly goals in life and want exactly the same valued things. They just go about it in different ways. Nonconformists are innovators. You can get a lot more done with a kind word and a gun than with a kind word alone, said gangster Al Capone. Number 11. Herodotus' Law. Circumstances rule men. Men do not rule circumstances. People are remarkably poor predictors of our own behavior. We make promises that we don't keep. We set goals that are not attained. We pledge oaths that we don't fulfill. Whenever there is a gap between one's declared aims and one's actual achievements, blame circumstances. We can control the thing between our ears. We can control our own thoughts, feelings, and actions. But we can't control what lies beyond ourselves. Given the right circumstances, people are capable of anything. Given the right situation, you will betray Jesus. Peter did 3 times. Everyone has a life story. There are people, there are stories. The people think they shape the stories, but the reverse is closer to the truth. The stories exist independently of the people and shape the world, said Herodotus. Number 12, Montaigne's law. Nothing is so firmly believed as what is least known. If we wish it to be true, then we readily believe it. The greater the ignorance, the greater the dogmatism. To the ignorant, the greater the absence of evidence, the greater the evidence of absence. If there is no evidence that a teapot is not orbiting Mars, then one must be. If one hits himself on the head with a book and one hears a hollow sound, then it's the book that must be empty. The ignorant are not ignorant because they lack knowledge. The ignorant are ignorant because they lack the ability to hold a thought in their head without accepting it as true or false, said Montaigne. Number 13, Kant's categorical imperative. Act only on that maxim which you can at the same time wish that it could become a universal law. We should behave to our friends as we would wish our friends to behave to us, said Aristotle. Behave to everyone as if you were receiving a great guest. Do not do to others what you would not wish done to yourself, said Confucius. Do to others what you would want others to do to you, said Jesus. Aristotle, Confucius, Jesus, and Kant, separated by hundreds of years and in their own individual way, expressed the same golden rule. The lion doesn't announce his presence. The jungle already knows, and the lion doesn't need the sheep's approval. And number 14, Santayana's law. Those who cannot remember the past are condemned to repeat it. There is no perfect life. Everyone makes mistakes. Even Jesus got angry and broke things. The best you can do is to learn from your mistakes how not to repeat them. Learn what you can from your past, and then let go of your mistakes. Let go or be dragged. Know yourself, said Socrates, but don't get trapped living between your ears. Are you depressed? If you're depressed, you're living in the past. You're depressed because the past already happened. If something good happened to you, you're depressed because it can never happen again for the first time. If something bad happened to you, you're depressed with regrets. Regrets are painful. A regret is a debt you owe yourself that you can never repay because it's too late to change the past. Are you anxious? If you're anxious, you're living in the future. You're anxious because the future hasn't happened yet. If you expect something good will happen to you, you're anxious because you must wait for it to happen. If you expect something bad will happen to you, you're anxious because you don't want it to happen. Don't be depressed. Don't be anxious. Be here now, and it is always now, said Santayana. The rules we are forced to obey and conform to are written down, openly acknowledged, and actively enforced. Some rules are prescriptive. Prescriptive rules tell you what to do. Some rules are proscriptive. Proscriptive rules tell you what not to do. Do rules can only be somewhat useful in understanding how life ought to be best lived. But prescriptive rules are difficult to obey. Do not rules are easier to obey, but are even less useful for maneuvering through life's endless struggles. Consider Moses' 10 Commandments. There are 3 do rules, but 7 do not rules. Perhaps the gods were trying to be generous, dictating more of the easy proscriptive rules than the more difficult prescriptive rules of behavior. Perhaps not. Written rules won't save you. These life hacks just might help. Philosophers don't know everything. They know what matters.